Welcome to 2023. There are a lot of tech products that Apple is rumored to be announcing this year, so in this video, let's go over them. We'll start out with a regular rumor occurrence, the Apple AR/VR headset that may be called realitypro. If you've ever heard of an Oculus before, you'll know what I'm meaning with an AR/VR headset. Apple is looking to do something similar, just one-up it and do it in the Apple way. The Quest 2 is probably the most popular VR headset ever. Apple is determined to just get one step ahead of it. Instead of only going for a VR headset, they also want to go for an AR augmented reality headset in addition to virtual reality headset. This is backed up by the fact that the software for it is rumored to be called XROS, not just VROS or AROS. Exactly when it will be released is a question I don't quite have the answer to. Apple do have some flexibility for when they want to release it due to it being a brand new product category and not one that they've sort of scheduled a release time for each year, like the iPhones in September and Macs in November. However, I think there is a big chance that they will release it at WWDC, since developers will need to start making apps or customize their apps to work with this new XROS. One of the most anticipated Apple product announcements of 2023 will be the new Mac Pro with Apple Silicon. The current 2019 version still features an Intel processor, and this is the last Mac to be upgraded from Intel to Apple Silicon. And to add to the rumors, John Turner said back last year already, nearly a year ago, that the only device left to upgrade is the Mac Pro, and quote, "that is for another day."
Making our transition nearly complete with just one more product to go, Mac Pro. But that is for another day.
We just don't know when that other day will come. The Mac Pro is expected to feature the M2 Ultra chip and potentially even the M2 Extreme chip. I've got the rumored specs here, and it says that the Mac Pro is expected to feature the M2 Ultra chip with the 20-core CPU up to a 64-core GPU and 64 or 128 gigs of unified memory. There could also be an M2 Extreme variant, which may have up to a 40-core CPU, up to 128-core GPU, and 128 or 256 gigabytes of unified memory, which is heaps. Side note, as I've been editing this video, I've been seeing rumors lately that the M2 Extreme chip may have actually been cancelled by Apple. But we'll just have to wait and see, because in the end, these are all rumors and these are not confirmed by Apple themselves. So we don't actually know what's happening with the Mac Pro. So we'll just have to wait and see for the event to figure out what chip will actually be inside the Mac Pro. Moving on, learning from their failures of the original HomePod, the original big boy HomePod, and learning from the successes of the HomePod Mini, which was just great value, Apple may be releasing a new, bigger HomePod to match the original design. It may be powered by the Apple Watch Series 8's S8 processor. I don't know whether it will happen, but if it does, then okay. The audio quality would most likely be improved, and knowing how expensive the previous HomePod was and how much that flopped, Apple are going to want to lower the price down, so it might be $199 US, which would be more expensive than the likes of the Nest Hub or the Echo Show. However, that's where the HomePod Mini fits into the lineup. This is a more premium experience, and it's going to be higher quality and higher audio specs. So I feel like it would be a better price point than the $350 US that it originally was, because that was just way too expensive. But staying with the HomePods and the Nest Hub and the Echo Show, Apple might be releasing something that's kind of similar to them. It's a HomePod combined with an Apple TV that includes Siri and a FaceTime camera. Mark Gurman says that, quote, "the device's other capabilities would include a standard Apple TV box functions like watching video and gaming, plus smart speaker uses, such as playing music, and uses Apple's Siri digital assistant." It sounds very interesting and could be released towards the end of 2023. Apple actually put together and combined their Apple TV and their HomePod development groups, so maybe it's hinting at something more exciting? A new iMac may also be in the works. Apple is apparently working on a new iMac with an M3 chip. However, we don't know much more than that. And there is also speculation a new iMac Pro could be released, but whether this is the same thing or whether it's a standalone product, we don't know yet. All that we do know is that it will probably have an M2 or an M3 chip. Of course, iOS 17, iPadOS 17, watchOS 10, and macOS 14 will also be released this year, presumably at WWDC. At this stage, nothing is known. However, I do expect leaks to sort of depart Apple HQ and arrive at the media's doorstep leading up to June next year. To find out more about these new OSs from the information notification starts rolling in, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications down below. But with the new version of iOS comes a new version of the iPhone, specifically the iPhone 15. Again, we don't know too much, but we do know that it might release with a USB-C port due to this EU law regulation change. But if you want to find more about that, also check down in the description because I've made a whole short about it. We might also find that the dynamic island goes to the base models, and we would hope with that the 120Hz ProMotion display would also go to the base models. Finally, Apple might release a 15-inch MacBook Air, which is something they haven't really done before. It would probably stick with the same design as the 13-inch, but it would just be bigger in form factor. Sort of the same screen size as the 16-inch MacBook Pro, but lighter and thinner, which is the whole point of the MacBook Air. Anyways, that's what we should hopefully expect from Apple this coming year. If you want to check out a video about what Apple did release and the value proposition of it, make sure you check this video up here, and I did a whole tier list ranking video of them all. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video. Bye bye.